I got Killer Kyle with me. Yep, different in his apartment.
Yeah.
And I figured I'll get his take on it because I just finished Raw. And honestly, I gotta say, I really enjoyed this new era I think we're in.
Yeah, it seems to be that the combination of them deciding to go TV-14 plus Triple H being in charge of creative now, I feel like things will go in a direction that I think a lot of people have been wanting WWE to go in for a long time. Like, they've been doing a lot of things over the last, I'll say, about 10-ish years. Not quite 10 years, but close to it. That differed from what you call the PG era.
Right.
It seems to be now that they are not mainly focused on not really catering, but like selling kids products like action figures and the rings and whatever else.
Yeah.
Then they are focusing a lot more on the product, and because they are focusing a lot more on the product, then that's just going to make the product that much better.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at SummerSlam. SummerSlam was actually quite good. I was quite impressed.
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree. And the play-by-play was definitely refreshing in WWE terms. Like, I don't remember the last time we did a Geek O'Clock and no rant.
Yeah.
In WWE, so yeah, I think, you know what? Vince definitely gone in the business, I think is a step in the right direction. Unfortunately, it has to be that way. We said this for years. Yeah, he is a genius, or was a genius, but out of touch at the same time.
Like, don't get us wrong.
Yeah.
There was a lot of really cool things that happened in Vince's tenure with that company. We boasted quite a lot about the Thunderdome.
Yep.
That was a really great concept. And like, you know, there's a lot of really unique things that happened with Vince in charge. The one thing that seemed to change after, I'll say, well, later in the 2010s, was the product really seemed to not be as good as it once was. The product was still good, but it was very different from how it used to be. Now, a lot of people have compared the modern era, if you will, to the Attitude Era. And nothing is ever fucking gonna hold a candle to the Attitude Era. Not shit.
No, I agree with that statement. I think that the Attitude Era is overrated, but that's just me. The Attitude Era was a great era, but when you look at, in my opinion, 92, 93, especially because I started in May of 92, it was a good era for, like, children. It was campy, it was character-driven, and then, you know, because they're competing with WCW, let's change it up a bit. So they did that in 97.
Yeah.
I think they started, though, kind of in 96 when you look at the Stone Cold Steve Austins or the Mankind's.
Yeah, 95, 96 was really when they were getting into it, but it became really that more edgy product in 97. From then 97 to 2002, 2001, 2002, it was that edgy product. Then once you got 2001, 2002, and then after that,
Yeah.
they pulled back with some of the things they were doing, and it wasn't that, like, you still had that shock value, but it wasn't near the shock value of, 97 to 2000, 2001.
Yeah, I keep saying 2003, the Bischoff era, was the shits.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. But, talking about Raw this past Monday, I was like, holy shit, a wrestling show with wrestling.
Yeah, and maybe now with Triple H in charge of creative, he will balance everything to still fit the 3 hours, but it match, talking, match, talking. It'll be match, talking, match, talking. There'll be, I feel, more matches and less talking.
Yeah, and I think the thing too is less scripted promos. I don't know about that fully, but when you look at Michael Cole at SummerSlam, he seemed to have a lot more freedom with his words, I guess.
And I think maybe that's what WWE was pushing for. They still got writers, and they'll still write out, maybe formats for matches or whatever. But as far as the promos are concerned, the wrestlers will have more freedom to maybe not necessarily speak their mind, but say, like, it'll be a act and reaction thing.
Yeah.
Instead of, I'm gonna write this for you, you read it, you memorize it, and then you say it. As I think, like, we watched a video one time, and there was about wrestlers that had forgotten what they were going to say, and I feel that's because what they were saying was scripted.
Yeah.
When you are able to go off the cuff and say stuff off the top of your head, the first thing that comes to mind, your gut reaction, so to speak,
Yeah.
it will be more natural. Because anything that's scripted, not only do you have to read it and memorize it, you have to make it like it's something you would say. Not like somebody told you to say it. You have to put your own feeling into it. You have to put your own emotion into it. You can't just spew the lines. You just don't put it out there because it won't have that raw emotion and feeling to it. But when you go away from script and you just go off of that action-reaction concept, it'll feel more natural, it'll be more natural, and it'll be a more real emotion, a more real feeling, and I think people will get more behind whoever they're cheering for, and not like more who they hate.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a large benefit of Triple H being in charge of creative. And, Matt and I boasted quite a bit about, Triple H's time as outgoing head of creative for NXT. And that, call it the black and gold era, if you will.
Yeah.
And just how good it was. And with him in charge of it, it was really good matches. I don't know if they had the freedom to, do, I don't know how to say it, open promos, if you will, like, non-scripted promos,
Yeah.
or what? Get the Roddy Piper treatment, so to speak.
Yeah, I gotta change that.
Well, it's just the fact that, with Roddy Piper, Vince was like, alright, here's a mic, say whatever you want.
Oh, okay, I see.
And he did, whether it be a promo, or Piper's pitch, or whatever. I don't mean, the Roddy Piper treatment as in, him not getting championships or whatever. He held the Intercontinental Championship, but that was it. I just mean, he had, they talked about it in the biography for him. He had the freedom to say what he wanted.
Yeah.
Nothing he said was written for him.
Yeah.
And I think with Triple H in charge, it will be that exact same thing. Wrestlers will be able to say what they want. Now, I'm sure Triple H himself or a producer or whatever will go, okay, here's some guidelines to what we would like you to say, and then just go from there. Just give them general guidelines of okay, Seth Rollins and Riddle, they don't like each other, there's been an issue with them for a long time, and just bullet point certain things, and then just let Seth and Riddle go from there.
Right. I think that's the thing. It's one of those more freedom. It's more edgy.
Yes.
I don't see the whole lexicon of WWE change too much.
No.
They'll probably still say medical facility. They're probably still gonna say superstar instead of wrestler. They might still use wrestler at some point. They do every once in a while, but the thing is, with Vince, it was all about the entertainment aspect. And there was nothing wrong with Miz TV.
No.
Or the Kevin Owens show.
Right.
Because you had a Piper's Pit. You had
Yep.
the flower shop. But
The barber shop.
I think there comes a time when you have to go, alright, is this a wrestling company or is this an entertainment company with wrestling? I don't even know anymore. It's the whole thing with Scott Hall. And he said WCW was a wrestling show running a TV show. A wrestling company, it was a TV show running a wrestling show. With WWF, it was a wrestling show running a TV, it's better in his words, but it kind of made sense in a way.
Yeah, I did see his point.
So, with Triple H, who, by the way, is a wrestler, you'll see more wrestling, you'll see more edgy things, you'll see more of the grit, if you will.
Right.
I think Edge's promo back after SummerSlam was good.
Yes.
I think he needs to slow the fuck down so when he's talking he's not winded, but
I don't think he was winded because of what he was saying. He was winded because of his entrance.
that's what I mean.
He put so much into his entrance, excitement and energy and what have you, that when he got in the ring, he was out of breath.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He needs to slow the fuck down. And it is why it's a nitpick.
Yeah.
But his promo was good.
Yes.
Do you think that... Now, the rumor is he's going to start the new Brood against the Judgment Day, which I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, it would be cool to see maybe a tag team match with Priest and Balor against Edge and Ray. Or
Yeah, that makes
Edge
sense.
and Dom.
Yeah.
I was thinking Sex Man, but like, who could you get to partner with Balor and Priest?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
It's like you can Edge, Ray, Dominic, and then what I was going to say is like, how would that work? And then it's like, oh, you could also go, Edge and Ray against, Balor and Priest.
Yeah, and I mean, with the whole thing with Bailey's new faction against Alexa, Asuka, and Bianca,
Right.
that was a good match. Unfortunately, it ended in, like, DQ twice.
Of course.
So we'll see what happens next week, but
Yeah.
yeah, like, WWE has been more exciting as of late. And yes, in my opinion, this has happened for a while now. But I think once Vince stepped down, it looks like it's picking up. Like,
Yes.
I think Raw has had the highest rating than it has in a while.
Probably, yeah.
So, anyways, join us. We're going to do Wheels of Fury, last installment of Look Back at 2006, when we look at Ring of Honor. I forgot.
You mean...
Death Before Dishonor.
I thought we were doing New Japan.
I couldn't find footage for that.
Okay, so Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor, 2006.
That's the problem with thinking of shit to do. We can't find footage of it sometimes.
Yeah, I know, like, can come up with an idea for something to do, from early in the 2000s or, 90s, whatever.
Yeah.
But to find footage of it, it can be a challenge sometimes.
Yeah, so...
A lot of times, we can find whatever, but sometimes there's certain things we want to talk about that just you can't find a highlight package for, or the actual event itself to watch it, or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just the way it goes.
So anyways, for me and Matt, I got Killer Kyle with me.
You.
There's three of you. By the way, I got this from my brother in Montreal. So,
That's three of you.
there's three of you, and we'll see you for Wheels of Fury.
So you know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. But I think that there's this myth out there that Jamie Keller
Gnarly.
that's why he took pleasure in cutting WCW. I don't think that's the case at all. Because if you look at some of his earlier interviews, like